Hey everyone, welcome back to Silverrun Forest for the next episode in our Let's Play. We're just on our way up to our iron furnace and the iron mine, so we can load up a few pallets of the metal, and then we should have everything we need on the trailer then to complete the first stage of the roller coaster build. So what we need to do is try and get this in a position where we can load it up and also get the forks off. So I've bought a set of forks for the wheel loader that we've got up here, so we can then use that to load up the metal. So if we just leave that there, turn the engine off so we're not wasting fuel, unstrap that. Yeah, so I've got the forks for the wheel loader. I've also got the bigger bucket for the little wheel loader, and I've got the rear weight from Vanquish, which is on Mod Hub, that attaches to the rear trailer hitch, so we can actually pick up the heavier bucket that's full of iron ore. So what we'll do, I've got this one loaded up ready, so we'll take this one over to the iron furnace just to top it up a little bit. Let's just get that load in. I think we are okay. I did put another couple of loads in after we finished last time, so we should be okay for a little bit, but as we're here we may as well put another couple of loads in. So yeah, 30,000 litres in there. So we'll do one more. That should keep us going then for another couple of months, so we can then just top it up next time we come back up here to get some more metal. So even though we're right next to the iron ore mine, this thing is still very slow. But we only need, what, 2 scoops now with this, or just over 2 scoops to fill the bed, rather than about 5 with the smaller bucket. Now you can just about get away with the bigger bucket without the weight on the back, but you do have to be very slow with your movements, otherwise it does tip up. So we'll get this one in and then we'll start loading up the actual metal. Okay, so iron ore topped up, so we'll get as much of the metal on as we can. The roller coaster doesn't need all of what we've got here for the first stage, but I presume it will need further metal for the next stage. So if we just take all of it there, and then that should then transfer over to the next stage, just go into storage. So if we get the forks in, I really did not like that then. I thought that was going to flip out and send the pallet flying through the air. So the weight on the back, we can comfortably pick up 2 of these, and we'll get these on the front end, and we'll get 4 on here and then we'll put 2 on the back. Or maybe not not get 4 on the front. We'll put those 2 on the front because I haven't left quite enough gap there. The one thing I'm not 100% sure about whether we will have enough for this is the wood beams. We currently need 6,000 litres to finish off the first stage. So last pallets, and then we'll head down to the roller coaster, get these delivered, and then what we're going to do is have a look at getting the first couple of farm buildings built, and then I'm going to try and get another field ploughed in into our land in the area we cleared last time. So we'll just drop that off there and get these strapped down, because we can now get the next crop planted, although I haven't quite decided what crop we're going to do yet. We'll have to take a look and see what we can actually do this time of year. So yeah, let's get down to the roller coaster, get all this delivered, and then we'll do a little bit of farming. Okay, so we're just coming up to the roller coaster, and as you can see, I don't know if you remember last time, but from the products we delivered, you can see some of the construction just around that spruce tree there, where it started to build up the spiral section. So even though we haven't fully delivered everything for the first stage, you can kind of see where it has started to build up. So we'll get all this delivered, And that should hopefully then be enough to completely complete the first stage. Yeah, I think that's full now. It's not taking any more by the looks of it. So it won't take the last bit to metal. So metals in storage, it looks like 4,000 is the capacity for the storage on that. Floor tiles looks like 1,000 litres capacity for the storage on the floor tiles as well. So we'll have to take these somewhere else. So what I need to do now is find out where we can sell the metal. I think Silverrun Market might be the best option, which pretty much takes everything. Might not be the best price, but it's the most convenient for us at the moment. So Silverrun's 5,340, Barrel Factory 5,394, Boatyard 5. We could actually take it to the Boatyard. I don't know if it stays in storage because we don't own the Boatyard yet. I'm not sure how the Boatyard actually works, if delivering products to it when you don't actually own the Boatyard. I've not actually tried, so we'll quickly take it there and see. I remember where the Boatyard actually is. Pretty sure it's down this way. Yeah, there it is. Second then I couldn't remember which way we had to go. Well, I know you can purchase the Boatyard, but I don't know how it works if you don't actually own it, in terms of delivering products to it. It's taking them, and we're getting paid for it, so... Yeah, so it's 125,000 to buy. So I'm presuming that if you actually own it, you earn more money from when the boat is complete. So when the boat launches, you get a set amount of money for each one. And until you own it, it just acts as a sell point. So we'll see. Once we've got a bit more money, I don't intend to get the Boatyard just yet anyway, because we don't currently have access to all the products required. I do believe it does take fabric further down the line, and we don't have any way of producing fabric at the moment. So sheep are definitely one thing we want to try and get this year, and get those up and running so we can start wool production and then get a spinnery so we can actually start getting fabric being produced ready for when we do need that at the Boatyard. Okay, now with that done, next job will be to have a look at getting a farm building in, or two, and then try and get another field ploughed in. So what I'm thinking, we've got enough money now, we're up to 136,000. If we go into build mode, I've got, under silos, we've got the shed from the American barn from Omatamana, which comes with a silo on the back. Two different options, one with concrete silo and one with the metal silo. So what I was thinking about putting one of these in somewhere around here. It's kind of just opposite this fork. So we'll drop that in. We'll need to do a little bit of landscaping to tidy up. Okay, so that's our first two farm buildings. We've now got a farm silo, so we can store some equipment in here as well. And then we've got the workshop down here, so we can actually repair some of our equipment. This one doesn't have the underground pits, this one's been filled in, but there is one on Mod Hub as well, where you can lower the ground and have all that accessible. So I've got workshop trigger here, so a little bit of extra storage space. I think these buildings kind of fit in a little bit. I added a couple of trees here. I was going to go through and add some more bushes and things, but it's quite difficult to do in winter because they don't quite show up very well. So it might be a bit easier to do once there's some growth on, so once we get into summer to do that. So I will be putting some more trees around, probably just some smaller trees and bushes on this bit to blend it all in, and then we'll plant some more of the bigger trees going across the road. I've gone through and marked all the deadwood trees, so what we'll do is at some point we'll take all the deadwood trees out, and every deadwood tree we take out we'll replace with a new tree, so we'll plant a new tree in its place. And I'll probably plant a few more in this on this slope as well, just to fill it in a little bit more, because it is a bit sparse. I do think Giants have done a very good job in some areas of the map making it look a lot more dense forest than it actually is. Obviously for optimization for console, they can't put too many trees on or performance may take a big hit. But we've now got a farm silo, so we've got somewhere where we can store our crop. Probably will put another shed in as well, so we can store some more equipment as we go. But I think for now what we need to do is go and get the John Deere, which I actually, yeah, we're going to get the John Deere, which I've left at the sawmill, because I took up the last of the logs we had cut up from our land, so they're up the old sawmill. So I'll go and grab that. We'll get the batwing mower on. We can get this area cleared over here, and then we'll probably use this, then we'll get another field ploughed in so we can have two smaller fields, and then we can take it from there. Okay, so I've got the John Deere and the batwing mower. Also just refueled this over at the fuel station, as we was running rather low on fuel. So what we'll do, we'll probably clear the entire area here, right up to where the trees we've cleared down there, and then as far down as we can, going down that way. Give us a bit more of an idea of the area we've got to work with. This time I probably won't come right up to the edge of the road. I'll probably leave a strip. I don't think the grass grows back, or those bushes grow back. So where I've cut down along the edge of the field on the other one, there's just a bare strip now. So we'll leave a tiny little divide, and then we'll just get the rest of this all cleared. Then we can get the rocks out the way, and then decide where we're going to get another field. Right, so all the underbrush and bushes and all that cleared out the way, so we can now see clearly where these stones are. So we'll get all those cleared up or broken up, and then get these actual stones picked up and moved out the way. So what I need to do now is just decide where I'm going to put all our equipment. I probably will add another shed or two, well, at least another one shed for equipment to be stored in, so possibly another two, but I'll have to try and have a work out where the best place to get those in will be. So we'll just drop that one in there for now. Actually, we just need to jump into the skid steer, so we'll go and get that, and then we'll get all these rocks broken up, and then we can ploughing the field, and I'll have a think about while I'm doing that where we're gonna potentially put another building for storage. I don't want to go too big because we're not going to have a huge amount of equipment. I'm not planning on doing like clearing big areas and having a huge farm. I just want that kind of small farm area feel, some small equipment so we can do a little bit of farming every now and then, make a change from the forestry. So we'll get all these broken up and cleared out the way, and then we can get a field ploughed in. Okay, so stones have all been broken up and moved out the way. Do need to just do a little bit more landscaping just along this edge where it's a little bit bumpy, and then we can get a second field ploughed in. So just before I forget, just down around this edge, it's still a little bit of a drop down where I flattened off the area, so I just need to smooth that out a little bit more. So what we're going to do is get another field in this area alongside this one. So if we just set that to create field and drop that down, won't come too close to that one, just in case if we do ever hire a worker, less likely to jump between fields. And I probably will just come back in with the landscaping tools after, and then put a bit of grass and some more bushes in between, just so the bits where it's not going to regrow. So I won't do a complete field in the entire of this area, because I do want to keep another little bit for potentially getting the sheep, or maybe getting a smaller grass field in. Not quite sure yet how to go about that. So I'm going to leave probably that strip there where it narrows, and I'm going to leave a little bit to the left hand of the shed there, or the barn. And John Deere seemed to be struggling today. I don't remember you struggling this much last time with this plough. So I'll probably bring it to where that tree is and then start going back across. And then we'll bring it round to about there and then go across again, then join back up. So that'll be our second field. So I think that's more than big enough what we're going to do farm wise. I mean, potentially in the future we could join these two fields together and have one large field, but we'll see how it goes. So let's bring this back round and then join up, and then we'll get it all ploughed in. Last little bit to do, and that's the field ploughed in. The next job will be to get some lime spread on it, and then we'll get a crop sown. Still not 100% sure which crop to do. I think more than anything we'll most likely do... I mean, we could do soybean just to sell, because there's not really any other crop we need. We've got some barley in that field that we can use to get a little bit of chicken feed, so we can get a small chicken coop when we've harvested that. So really we don't need anything in particular. So maybe we could do soybeans, which we probably don't need to actually do this month. So we could leave the rest of that until April. Yeah, April we could do soybeans. I definitely want to do a crop we could do with the... Actually, we could do oats. I think if we need oats for anything. Only if we plan to get a couple of horses. It would be nice to get a horse on this map, because there's some nice areas that really do remind me of Red Dead Redemption, that you could go riding around on a horse. It wouldn't be quite the same, but it would be quite cool. So, okay, so the oats have all done. They're all sown. And I've been over it with the roller to get rid of all the stones and get the rolling bonus as well. So that's another job done. So next what we're going to do is head over to the wood turner and get some of the pallets loaded up. I will take those to sell. So I've got the semi-truck over by the store with the skid steer, so we'll buy a set of forks for the actual skid steer. Just let the train go past. And then we can use that to load up the pallets, which will be a little bit easier to maneuver around rather than using the tractor and front loader. So we want skid steer tools, and we'll get the ones that come with the skid steer. I'll just get these on, and then we'll get that over there. What we'll do then, we'll use the money we make to finish off the farm buildings. So there's 2 more sheds I want to put in, which should then give us plenty of storage for everything we need. And I also want to get another small tractor and the sprayer so we can get the barley sprayed with some fertilizer to get the next application on there. Yeah, so we've got a bit of everything. We've got pepper grinders, bowls, staircase railings. I do need to actually check while we're here. We'll just check that because I'm not sure how much is left in storage for this. So we are running out of wood, but what I'm going to do is once the wood has run out, I'm going to switch it to planks long and just use planks long for the production from now on. So we've got another couple of staircase railing pallets and 2 more pepper grinder and 1 more pallet of bowls as well in the building. So they'll probably spawn once we clear some of the pallets from the spawn area. See if I can squeeze these 2 on the side. Oh, if I don't, get the skid steer come off the side of the trailer. So we can just try and get this back on. There we go. Don't want to get my skid steer falling off the truck. Never goes the way you want it to. Anyway, I'm going to finish getting all these loaded up best I can anyway. If I don't make a complete mess of it. We'll work out the best place to take them to sell, which probably is Elm Creek. I don't really fancy then having to reload them all back onto the train. So we'll probably just take them to the best price that's currently on the map. Get these sold. That should then give us enough money to get the rest of the stuff I want to get for the actual farm itself. Alright, last few pallets to go on. So we'll get these sold. These ramps could do with just being a little bit wider. Even on the narrowest one, if you just don't get the wheels quite lined up, you just do fall through them. Last pallet, I should be able to squeeze the skid steer on the back as well. Just about enough space left. I'll squeeze that pallet on. Come on, back on, back on. I'll just nudge those forward. Drop that on there and get this all strapped down. Alright, so best price currently, let's have a look at the stock check. So pepper grinders, Sunnyside Cafe. Which one is the most expensive out of the ones we've got? I think it's the pepper grinder, 2,000. The bowl, 3,500 for the bowl. Sunnyside Cafe, Sunnyside Cafe. I'm presuming Sunnyside Cafe does not take staircase railings because that would be a bit an odd item for them to purchase. Yeah, Elm Creek's the best one for that. 1926 staircase railings. So Silverrun market for those, which check pepper grinder. Sunnyside Cafe's £400 difference between Silverrun. Actually, that's the best price, better than Elm Creek. Just check the bowls as well. So Sunnyside Cafe 3.5. Yeah, so we'll take the bowls and the pepper grinders to Sunnyside Cafe, which I think is literally just around the back here. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's around the back of this one. So if we do a right here, and then down this little path at the back here. If we can actually get down there. I might need to get a better trailer for maybe one of the Demco flat step decks for loading pallets on in the future, because I think it might pull a bit better than this. So that takes up to 54,000, so we'll go and get these sold if we can actually get out of here. So yeah, we'll take these to the Silverrun market. So then we should be able to finish off the farm buildings, and then we'll probably call it quits for today once we get those done. So I've pretty much done everything I wanted to try and get done. Still a few bits and pieces I'll tidy up after. But we've got everything delivered for the first stage of the roller coaster. So that is done. We've got the farm buildings in. I still need to do the spraying as well. We'll do that before we finish up. So that won't take long to do. We can get the new little tractor for light duty work. That's another 25,047, takes up to 79,526, which is not too bad. Okay, so next job will be to get these other buildings built. The one of them, which is this shed, I'm going to put over here, which looks like it's already at the rotation I wanted. Maybe bring it around a slight bit more. It's a little bit bigger than I would like. Ideal if it was just like 2 bays, a bit shorter, but kind of fits in nice. Okay, so done a little bit more landscaping. I've put a few trees around as well, and we don't have enough money now to buy the other stuff I wanted to get. Yeah, I got a bit carried away with the trees. We know we could have planted trees for free, but obviously with the problem with doing that is they will just keep growing until they get to the fully grown stage, which I didn't want all trees to look fully grown. And obviously the meadow grass I've filled in a bit round in between the fields as well and tidied that up a little bit. So there's still a lot more to do, just don't have the money to do it all. Because we've spent a lot of money on just purely decorative trees. I've marked those. So one thing I did say at the end of it was I may get some of the collectibles just to cover the cost of decoration stuff, farm buildings. So I'm still a bit reluctant, but I do know there's the one collectible up here. Which I'll probably easily spend another 50,000 just putting more trees and bushes and shrubs in. So I'm presuming most of you will have got this one, maybe the first one most people will have collected. Try and get to it without getting our feet wet. So we'll collect that 50,000. I may just finish off doing the decoration and then just take the rest of the money out, what's left. But I do want to get the tractor and sprayer, which is one thing I wanted to finish off doing, and then I completely got carried away with the trees. And then I looked at the money, I was like, oh yeah, maybe I should have held off the trees a little bit. So we're going to get a small tractor. I'm going to go with the John Deere 710 just because I've not used it yet and it looks cool. So we'll get that, and also we'll get the sprayer. And we're going to go for this one. I'm just going to change that to John Deere yellow so it looks a little bit brighter. Track width 2. Leave the rest as it is. And then we'll get some liquid fertilizer. Just get 1 pallet. Which should hopefully be enough. So that leaves 37,000. So I'm going to take out... Get it the right way around. How much did we have? 3. So if I take out 34,000... Oh, I've added 34,000. Right. Well, let's do that again. Minus 68,000. There we go. That leaves us roughly where we were. So pretty much all we've gained from the collectible was some decorative trees and bushes. So I'll get this filled up and I'll get the barley sprayed for its second application of fertilizer. What I'll probably do next time is, before we actually sow the crop, I may then add some fertilizer to the field, then mulch it, and then go round. When we plant it, then we'll get the second application of fertilizer, and then we can add the third afterwards, because we still need to add another one after this. And as you can see, it's a little bit tricky to see where you've actually been. That's where the enhanced vehicle control mod comes in handy. And I will just actually stop that and just double check it is actually applying fertilizer. There been many times in the past where I've done it and then realised it wasn't actually taking effect. Yep. So we're getting the second layer on there. So we've got a nice little John Deere now we can use for maybe tedding, windrowing, if we get a small enough low powered windrower tedder. And doing a bit of spraying and possibly a little bit of fertiliser spreading as well, if we get a small spreader if need be. Okay, so spraying is all done, and that's us all done for today. So quite a bit of progress done. Some new farm buildings in. So we've got a storage shed there for we can get a combine and header in there. And then we've also got a workshop, some storage as well. And a little shelter around the back where we can store store some of our equipment. There's still a little bit more work I want to do, add a little bit more details, probably get a fuel point. Just add some decorative objects and round, but I can do that in the future. So I'll get this parked under our new shelter. As for the actual farm buildings and such, I think that's pretty much all I'm going to do. I would like to get possibly another couple of fields in somewhere. We'll have to try and have a look around, see where else is suitable. So the area up here where I've left clear is where we'll probably put the sheep pasture on this section, so we can actually get the sheep. So once we can get some grass cut, we'll do that. The other thing I'm thinking of doing as well is, if we continue up this track, we own up to just around about here, so possibly buy this area of land as well over this side, and then get a track in somewhere from this one down to this grass field, and then buy this. And then I may split this, so possibly split this into two and have one section of it for grass and then another section for field. Or once we've done the harvest, maybe I'll cut the grass first, whichever we do. We'll cut and bale up all the grass before we do anything. So possibly ploughing two fields in here instead, and then use the, or at least one of the fields we've just created as a grass field. That's not the road. That's the water. So yeah, get a track so we can access it from this way as well, so we don't have to drive all the way around. So we probably will have to look at buying this land, which is, so 42 is not that expensive. 36,960, we can get the money for that fairly quick. So farmland 37 is 66,000, so we'd probably look to buy that as well. And then we can come off that track direct down to here. The other option possibly may look at, see, we get a track coming across that way with a little bridge across the stream, possibly into here. We'll see. That's future plans. But that's something I'd like to do. Then I think potentially split that into 2 separate fields, and then change this one that we just plowed in possibly as a grass field. And then I could possibly extend that up to where the sheep pasture is, and then just have the grass field there so it's next to the sheep pasture. Let's have a quick look, because there are still some more trees we could clear, although it does get a bit steep here. But we could potentially come up to here, so clear the rest of these trees and bring the sheep pasture over a bit more. And then whatever we don't use, then we could extend this further out for a larger grass field. But we'll do that once the oats have been harvested, and can have a look at doing that in the future. So that's kind of plans farming side of things. As if any of the other areas, I don't know if anybody does know any of these areas where they may be suitable for clearing and getting a small field in. So I'm not going to go huge, massive fields. So possibly this area up here. I don't know if we can get rid of these stumps actually. Maybe we can get rid of those in the landscape mode. I've not actually tried because there's none on our land. So I don't know if we can actually remove these, because obviously if you can't, then that kind of makes this area useless for a field. But so I think we may need to own the land before we can try any of that. So I would like to get a few small fields in. I say that's for the future. I think next time we're going to have to probably look at getting the old sawmill topped up with wood again. I did top it up with all the offcuts we had, so there was quite a bit left in there. But so 59,000, but by the time we've skipped through to next month, that's going to be getting low. So we'll probably move back up to farmland 6 next time. Get some more trees cleared there, get some more trees planted as well to replace those. And we should have more stuff spawned, and we'll also see with the roller coaster if we're on to the next stage of that yet, or we need to progress a bit more time. But for now, I think we are pretty much all done. So I'm going to put our little John Deere away. I wanted to use this tractor for a while since it was released. So I think this was part of the Gamescom or FarmsCon or something con, TwitchCon, FarmCon, GameCon. One of them, Giants released on the Mod Hub as I think it was the John Deere 5M as well that was also released, kind of like as part of that. So yeah, I wanted to try and get that in, so kind of fits in. So there's our little farmyard area. So it's not looking too bad. But I hope you've enjoyed this episode. If you have, then please don't forget to give it a like. I really do appreciate that. And if you're not yet subscribed to the channel, then please do consider subscribing. We've got more Farm Simulator 22 videos coming up with this series, and also the Timelapse series, and the live streams as well once a week. So yeah, if you've not watched one of the live streams, come along. We do usually on a Tuesday and a Wednesday on the evenings, so come along, say hello. And currently we're on this map as well, but on a different save game. So I think on the live streams we're just going to be concentrating on trying to get the roller coaster built and trying out as much of the stuff from the Platinum DLC as we can in the multiplayer. So there's currently 4 of us on there, so it's all good. So if you've not watched yet, come along, say hello, and you might enjoy it. But again, big thank you for watching, and I'll see you all on the next one. Goodbye.